What is going on? This is Coach Coleman, Jesse Coleman, and you're checking into Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast, where we help you tap into your full potential. What's going on? It is officially March Madness Final Four. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I have my Michigan gear on, ready for the Final Four against Arizona. I personally think that is going to be the best and biggest game of the whole tournament, but possibly the whole season. Like, if I think things are going to go the way I think or expect it to go, it is going to be a great game. So, looking forward to that. Hopefully, they can pull it off, and we move on to the national championship game. Like, I'm just excited. Like, I had to stop myself, right? So they played the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight here in Chicago, and I was finna buy tickets, and I stopped myself because I'm a little bit superstitious, y'all. The past two times that Michigan played for championships at the United Center when it was the Big Ten championships, both times I went, they end up losing. So I said, you know what? I am going to do what's best for the group. I'm going to do what's best for the team, and I'm going to sit my ass at home and watch both of those games. And guess what? They won both of those games in the United Center. So I'm excited about that and looking forward to the Final Four and the national championship game because it's gonna be a good thing. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be one of those events, sporting events, where it's gonna be like, damn, they actually showed up and they was rocking and rolling, right? Yet I want to get into it, right? Today is when you're listening to this. Today is the beginning of Q2. If you're listening to this, we are now officially in the second quarter. The first quarter is over with. We here, and it's just one of those things where we're here. So Q1 is over. Um, we're gonna go into a little bit, but we're not gonna talk about the goals. We're gonna look into a little bit of the results of what's happening. And I want us to be honest about where we currently are, the adjustments we need to make, and let's attack Q2 with a lot of clarity. But the biggest thing, we got to attack it with some urgency. We got to have a sense of urgency. We are a quarter away done for the year, and as we know, time go by fast. The year can go by fast, so we really have to make sure that we're not making excuses and we're just executing. Whatever happened, happened. We're not going to dwell on it, but we do want to do a quick reality check on what's going on. So when you're looking at your business, or when you're looking at your key relationships, or if you're looking at your health, what actually happened for you in Q1, right? Again, we're not just we can talk about business, but I want us to really talk about everything. Our again, our key relationships, our health, our businesses, our finances, whatever the case may be, we have to get real and get right. So, quick reality check. Look at what actually happened for you in Q1, and then look at, did you hit your goals? Did you miss your goals, or did you fall somewhere in between of those things? And remember, we need to do a. It's important to have a honest self assessment about what happened and where we currently are. We can't sugarcoat things. We gotta we gotta be real, and that's one of the hardest things to do is for us to look in the mirror and see where we currently are and double check and look at, okay, what did I do or what didn't I do? That's the big thing. What didn't I do? Right? You don't grow from the goals you set, you grow from the truth that you face. The truth that we got to face is, hey, I'm a little bit behind on my financial goal as far as eliminating some of the debt. I said by the end of Q1 I wanted to have this much debt paid off. I didn't get there. Okay. I said at the end of Q1 I wanted to have dropped this many pounds. I didn't do it. Okay. It is what it is. I said, hey, I wanted my business to be at a certain point. My business isn't at a certain point yet. We have to get real with it, and we can't make excuses about why we didn't hit any of those goals. Because, like we talked about last week, things are going to happen. Shit happens. That's just how life is. Yet we want to make sure we just cut that noise out and we go straight to it. Now, I want you all to break things down into three buckets. Now, you all are going to say I'm a hypocrite, and remember, failure is feedback. So when I say these three buckets, I don't want y'all to be calling me out in the comments or texting me like, what are you talking about? You said we don't look at things like that. But hear me out, right? You're going to break things down into three buckets. You're going to break down your wins, you're going to break down your losses, and then you're going to break down your lessons. The losses, if again, failure is feedback. What did you learn from your losses? What were the lessons? So that's how you're going to break it down. Now, when you break it down into those three buckets, you're going to talk about what worked, what didn't work, what needs to change. Okay. So if we talk about our health, okay, what worked for us in Q1 with us on our health journey? Oh, you know what? I've been drinking, close to a gallon of water a day. That's been helping out. Hey, I've been getting enough rest, right? We're gonna highlight what's been working. And then after that, we're gonna talk about what didn't work. Well, I know, let's just say for me, or for this example, okay, what didn't work is I didn't pack enough healthy snacks. So when I was out or when I was doing things, I resorted to stopping to the gas station or doing this to get us some stuff that I shouldn't have. With your business, hey, I tried to do this. These things didn't work. It is what it is. Okay. Now, the third question is what needs to change. So when you look at what worked, when you look at what didn't work, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what are some things that I need to change to be better for Q2? Because as I reevaluate things, as I, you know, look back and observe and, you know, evaluate what's happening, these things didn't work. So this is the stuff I need to change. Okay. Now, when we get past that, I want you all to now celebrate the wins. Celebrate what worked. Celebrate what happened. You may have not hit your goal, but I can guarantee that you had some win happen in Q1. Can't nobody say me they didn't have any wins. So you're gonna celebrate. You're gonna celebrate those wins because momentum matters. Momentum builds that excitement. Momentum builds that thing of okay, you know what, I can do this. And then on our losses, we just gotta own it. At the end of the day, us dwelling and falling into a certain mindset, it's not going to do nothing to us. So we got to own those losses. Okay, no excuses. These were my losses. It is what it is. Yet, here's the key part. This is where the growth is. This is where the growth happens. Is you extract lessons from those losses. So I look at my losses. I own it. I manned up. I said it is what it is. Now, what can I learn from that? Oh shit, I know this was, the reason I lost because I wasn't prepared for myself to be out here doing a lot of, on the road a lot. So I'm going to be more prepared to be able to get, healthier options as far as snacks, right? If we do not extract lessons from those losses, it would just it just it's gonna do something. It's not gonna help us, right? So we have to make sure that for every loss we have, we get feedback. Feedback from every failure. Now we got the lesson to move forward. Now, here's what a lot of you all gonna do, and I don't want you all to do this. There is a big danger of carrying Q1 energy into Q2, right? If Q1 was off, you cannot bring that same approach into Q2. You cannot. We see that a lot when we had a bad morning, that energy goes into us having a bad day. And sometimes that energy from that bad day leads to bad energy for day 2, 3, 4, 5. We cannot bring that shit into Q2. We were off, we didn't hit our goal. We can't complain about spoiled milk. It's nothing we can do about that, right? We just focus on moving forward. Now, here's the flip side too, right? If Q1 was good, you still need to raise your standards. You still need to raise your standards. You cannot get comfortable. For my real estate people, and we know about the real estate roller coaster. We know how, things can be bad, and as we're going up, things are looking good. We take our foot off the gas, we start coasting, and then things come back down. We can't do that, right? We have to stay on top of things. You did good in Q1. Okay, how can I get 1% better in Q2? I'm not even saying you have to double anything, but how can you get at least 1% better from Q1 and Q2 to be able to keep that momentum going? And we talk about this all the time, right? Growth requires adjustment. It's not just repetition of the same habits. There's going to be some adjustments that need to be made. There's a story, or I forgot what it was, but they said, and don't quote me on this. My fact check people, don't quote me on this yet. I think it was about the 80 or 90% where a pilot stays on course, that they're not on course most of the time when they're flying somewhere. There's adjustments that need to be made. Growth requires adjustments. You can't think about with us working out. We can't stay in the habit of doing the exact same workout every week the same way. Our muscles is going to get used to it. Our bodies is going to get used to it. We have to make adjustments to continue that growth. And that's the same thing we have to do. Now, there may be a situation where we have to reset our standards, right? And for my people that listen all the time, I'm always talking about standards. Every week, I'm talking about standards. You have to make sure you stick to your non-negotiables. What are your daily habits? What is your worth ethic? What is your structure? Structure is key. We have to have that structure. If we don't have structure and we're just flying by, the boots, the laces on our boots, whatever that quote is, things are never going to work out. We're never going to know what we need to make adjustments on. Right? It's our standards over motivation. We talk about this all the time. Motivation is BS. What are your standards? What are the things you're going to do to stay consistent on doing what it is you need to do to get to where you want to get to? Your Q2 does not need new goals from you. The goal does not change. We just need to make sure we're adjusting our standards. We're making sure we're leveling our standards up as well. The goal doesn't change. The goal does not change. Like I said, the example for the flight for the pilot, the goal to get to California didn't change. It's just the route that they took to taking to get there is something that they need to adjust. Now, another part of us getting ready for Q2 is, do we need to refocus our priorities? What are the things that actually move the needles for you? What are some of the things that move the needles? We have to make sure we are eliminating things that are not moving the needles. And a big part of that is cutting out distractions. We have to cut out distractions. And this is for my people that, and I'm not going to say you're people that chase the shiny objects, but for my people that don't give enough time to do something and they jump to the next thing or they add the next thing. No, you have to simplify your focus. What are the top 1 to 3 key priorities that you need to focus on? And that's the max. What are the top 1 to 3 key priorities? So in Q2, what are the key priorities that you need to focus on? What are those things that move the needles? And then we need to cut out the distraction. We need to cut it out. We gotta have a sense of urgency. We have to have a sense of urgency. Q2 is not the time to take it easy. It's the time to go full on attack mode. We have to. We still have time at the beginning of the year to build momentum, to get that momentum going, to take us into Q2 to Q3 into Q4. We don't ease off the brake now. We're smashing down. We cannot wait for momentum, y'all. We got to create it. It's no more waiting around. We got to create what we need to create. We have to build it. Again, everything lies on our shoulders. We're not taking it easy in Q2. we're full on playing offense. For if you all remember the conversation that I had at the beginning of the year when I talked about my words for the year and they're on my wall, offense. Offense is one of my words for the year. I am on offense. I am going. We're not taking it easy. We're not. Set the tone for the next 90 days. Put a plan into place for the next 90 days. Your next 90 days are going to lead, it is going to set up your next 180 days. We have to set the tone. Now, your business and personal life, there might be some. We try to keep things as close to alignment as we can, but we know things are not going to always be in alignment. Yet here are some key things that we can do to try to make that happen. Right on the business side of things, it's your pipeline, and this could be for all of my business owners. If you're an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, these things relate. They relate to you and your business as well. Pipeline, lead generation, consistency. We're filling our pipeline. The only way we can fill our pipeline is if we lead generate. We have to lead generate consistency to build that pipeline. And you know this. If you don't have a pipeline, you don't have a business. If you're not lead generation, you're not going to get a pipeline. And if you're not doing those things on a consistent basis, you're going to be on that business roller coaster. Now, on the personal side of things, in this bucket, your health, mindset, and discipline is key. And when I say health, I'm talking about physical and mental health. A lot of times when we talk about health, people they kind of neglect the mental health. No, physical health, mindset, and discipline. Here's what you're gonna realize, and this is something I realized a while ago, is that when my mental health is on, I am able, if I get my personal side together, I'm able to operate more efficiently on the business side. We can't neglect one of the others. There's a lot of people that put all their energy into the business side, and then their physical health and mental health start going down. Again, we have to make these things fall into alignment with each other because they are key and they're important on both sides of the things. You cannot dominate in Q2 while neglecting your foundation. You cannot. You can't do one without the other. Well, you can do one without the other, but that's where burnout happened. That's when resentment happened. That's when shit starts falling apart in one of those avenues. Now we know when we talk about counterbalancing that there may be some times where you're going to be a little bit out of whack in one thing, but the key point is not staying out of whack for a long period of time. Okay. Now, here's another thing, take a look in the mirror, turn your camera, your camera forward facing to you. And I want you to do an identity check, right? Look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in the phone and say, am I showing up like the person that I need to be to hit my goal? Or are you operating at a lower level? Are you operating as a person that you know is not showing up the way they should show up? And it just be real again. We got to be real. We got to be right with ourselves. Are we showing up as the person we need to show up as to hit our goal, or are we operating as a person that's in their comfort zone, as a person that's acting timid, as a person that really don't believe that they can hit their goal? How are you showing up? How are you showing up? Because again, you know if you are showing up the way you're supposed to show up in every area of your life. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about as a parent. I'm talking about as a spouse. I'm talking about as a friend. I'm talking about as far as your mental health, your physical health. Are you showing up as the person that you need to show up as to hit those goals? Here's my challenge for y'all as we're kicking off Q2. I want you to write down one thing you need to stop, one thing you need to double down on, and one new standard for Q2. Now, It doesn't have to be a brand new standard. It can be you elevating the standards you already have in place because you know you can take it to another level. Q2 will only change if you change. For my people that's on track, I want you to go back and I want you to say, okay, what is one habit I cannot let sneak back in while I'm on track hitting my goals? What is the one thing I need to double down on? And what is a standard that I can elevate to take to the next level for me to be able to do what I want to do? Q2 is here. Q1 is over. It is what it is. We're not going to stress about it. We're not going to cry over spoiled milk. We're going to get on top of things and we're going to do what we need to do. I love you all. You know, I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart that I appreciate everybody that checks in and rock with me because at the end of the day, I'm not just talking to you all, I'm talking to myself as well. This is just like kind of like my journal. And I've said that before. This is me having a journal that I'm letting people get in. So the stuff I talk about, I'm talking to myself as well. I'm not talking at you, I'm talking with you, baby. So at the end of the day, we gonna rock and roll. We got goals to hit. Q2 is a fresh start, a fresh beginning for us to do what we need to do to get ready for the summer, to go into Q3 and to set us up for the rest of the year. That way, when we're launching into 2027, we're already launching and operating at a high standard. All right. So again, this is your boy, Coach Coleman, Jesse Coleman. Thanks for checking into Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast, where we help you tap into your full potential. See you all next week. Go Blue. That next week conversation, one or two things are going to happen. One, I'm going to be celebrating and 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 just going all in because we won a national championship, or I'm going to build another episode based around if things don't go our way. So again, love you all. See you next week. Peace.